Okay, welcome back. So this is just going to be a little tutorial about Excel Basics Lesson 2. So this is going to be about some basic math functions. So addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and powers. So I have two tables here. One of them is going to be manually putting this in. So if you don't use formulas and you just put it in there without the cell reference, and I'll show you what that means. So if you don't put it in there with the cell reference, what will happen is if you change these test numbers, your values over here will not change. Where this is the side where we're going to have it with the reference numbers, and I'll show you that, which means when we change these, it will change to the proper numbers. So let's go ahead and get started. So what we're going to do here is you're going to enter your values. So for this, you're going to put the equal sign, and then you're going to take B3, which is 4, plus 3. Then for subtraction, you're going to have 4 minus 3. For multiplication, it's 4 times 3. For division, it's 4 divided by 3. For power, it is 4. And then to get the caret, it's shift 6. And then you'll put in your 3. And that's about 64. And I have put this in wrong, so we will divide. There we go. See, it happens to all of us. So these numbers, if you add 4 plus 3, it's 7. If you subtract 3 from 4, it's 1. If you multiply 3 times 4, it's 12. If you divide 4 by 3, you get 1 and a third. If you do 4 to the power of 3, you get 64. So those numbers are correct. So this is on the other side. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put in the reference cell. So it's going to be a little bit different. So for this, you hit enter, or excuse me, equal, and then you'll take this formula. So B3 plus B4. So I'm actually going to go ahead and use it over here. We could get rid of this table if we wanted to, but I am going to use that so that you can see what it looks like. So you just click on the cell, and as you can see here, it says B3. Then you'll use the addition sign, and then you'll do B4. So you can actually write this in. So we get 7, which matches our first table. So how we're going to do this one is we're just going to type it in instead of selecting it. So you would have, this one is B3 minus B4, and then hit enter. We get 1, so those match up. We're going to do the same thing here. So this is B3 times B4. Hit enter, we get 12. This one is B3 divided by B4. We get 1 and a third. This one is B3 caret or power of to the power of 3. Excuse me, to the power of B4. So, and as you can see here, I wrote this in wrong. This is not EB. This is B4. And then this one will be B4. Now, there's different ways that you could do this. As you saw, I just wrote it out. You could take and highlight, right click and copy, or you can do Control C or Control X, but Control X cuts it away. And then you can come over here and you can either right click and push paste, or you can just go and say Control V and it'll paste it in there. So it looks the same now, but that's because I made a mistake. All right, so now let's talk a little bit about if we change these numbers. So let's watch this column F and column M. And the reason being is when we change these numbers, so we'll change this to 2 and 1. As you see, column F did not change where column M did change. So it automatically will take your referenced cells over here. So they're highlighted blue and they're highlighted red. with blue being B3 and red being B4. So if we change those numbers to, let's say, even a larger number, 100, and let's go with 133. So as you see here, they add up correctly, they subtract correctly, they multiply correctly, um, they do divide correctly, and they also do the power correctly. You could also go in here and let's say you want to format the cell a little bit. You can go in here and change formatting a little bit. As you see, this would be the number, the real number. So it's quite large, so we're not going to be able to do that. But you could do scientific, which is what it is now. It's similar to scientific, what it is now. So we're going to use scientific just because I like that a little better. And as you can see, we can go in here and change this to any number we want. And it will automatically fix all of these to make them look right. So just to sum up, there's a reason that we use formulas in Excel, or why we use Excel in general. And that is you can reference numbers or you can reference values. So what you can do is it's much easier to put in new values, because if you had to go through every time you made a change, you had 4 sales and then you had, 25 new customers or whatever it is, and then you had some of these types of operations. If you had to go back through and do each of these all the time, it would take you a very long time. Where if you just have the formulas, you can put them in and now you have all the answers.